Once upon a time, in a quaint and serene village, lived two beautiful sisters named EDIDIONG and EDEM. These two were abandoned as babies under mysterious circumstances. Their fate took a significant turn a few years ago when a kind-hearted hunter named Abasai was returning home after a long and tiring hunt. As he walked through the dense forest, he heard the faint yet distinct cry of a baby nearby. His curiosity piqued, Abasai followed the sound until he discovered a basket lying by the bush path. To his astonishment, inside the basket were two beautiful babies, EDIDIONG and EDEM. Abasai was in utter shock and wondered who could have possibly left these innocent babies in such a perilous place. He called out, hoping to find their mother or someone who might be searching for them, but received no response. Driven by a strong sense of compassion and responsibility, Abasai decided to take the babies home, unable to leave them alone in the wilderness where danger lurked around every corner. When Abasai reached home, he hurried to show the babies to his wife, Idara, who had been longing for a child for over a decade. "God has finally blessed us with twins," Abasai exclaimed with joy and excitement, hoping to share this newfound happiness with his wife. However, instead of joy, Idara's face contorted with anger and disbelief. She furiously demanded that Abasai return the babies to where he found them. Despite Abasai's heartfelt explanation of how he came across the twins, Idara remained unmoved and insistent on returning them. Abasai, determined and hopeful, pleaded repeatedly with Idara, believing she would eventually change her mind and grow to love the twins. But Idara was resolute, declaring that if he insisted on keeping the babies, she would have nothing to do with them. Faced with this ultimatum, Abasai decided to keep the twins, hoping Idara would eventually soften her heart. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Idara never accepted the twins, refusing to care for them or even acknowledge their presence. The twins, only a few years old, faced constant neglect and hostility from Idara. She ignored their cries of hunger, leaving them to starve until Abasai returned from his hunts. Years passed, and the twins, now 4 years old, still endured Idara's cruelty. She never fed them or showed any affection, and would even scold them when they called her mother. Despite their tender age, the twins understood that they were not welcome in Idara's heart. One day, EDEM fell seriously ill while Abasai was away hunting. Despite seeing EDEM's suffering, Idara carried on with her daily chores, neglecting to seek help from the village herbalist. By the time Abasai returned and saw EDEM's condition, it had worsened significantly. Panic-stricken, he rushed her to the herbalist, who informed Abasai that EDEM could have died if not brought in time. This revelation broke Abasai's heart, as he couldn't understand why Idara was so heartless towards the twins. Idara constantly reminded the twins that they were abandoned and blamed them for her misfortune. This broke Abasai's heart, as he prayed daily for Idara to one day accept and love the twins. However, Idara remained fixated on her own desire for biological children, and the years without a child took a toll on her mental and physical health. Her bitterness and resentment only grew deeper with time. Nearly 15 years had passed without children, and Idara's despair turned into a relentless obsession. One day, in a fit of rage, Idara dragged the twins out of the house, blaming them for bringing bad luck into her home. Frightened and crying, the twins wandered the village, searching for refuge. Exhausted and hungry, they stopped by a large tree to rest, where they met a kind woman named MM, who lived in a neighboring village with her husband Buma, had been longing for a child for over 5 years. Seeing the tired and hungry twins, MM's heart ached with compassion. She approached them and gently inquired what they were doing alone. The twins, with tears streaming down their faces, explained their plight. Touched by their story, invited them to her home, offering them the love and care they had never known. Showered the twins with affection, filling the void of a mother in their lives. The twins, in turn, loved her deeply and called her mother, bringing immense joy. Not long after the twins joined their new family, good things began to happen. MM's and Buma's businesses flourished, and miraculously became pregnant. She considered the twins her good luck charm and ensured they had the best of everything. Meanwhile, Idara, returning from the market one day, encountered a mysterious young boy who cryptically told her she had brought suffering upon herself by discarding what should have brought her good luck. Confused and disturbed by his words, Idara asked the boy to explain, but he simply smiled and vanished into the bush. This encounter left Idara deeply puzzled and uneasy. That night, Idara had a vivid dream in which the twins handed her 2 large, ornate boxes. In the dream, she refused to accept the boxes, and the twins, looking sorrowful, gave them to someone else. Upon waking, Idara remembered the boy's words and the dream, realizing she had lost something precious. She told Abasai about the dream and the boy's message, and together they decided to search for the twins, hoping to make amends. Months of searching yielded no results, and Idara grew increasingly desperate. One day, Abasai saw EDIDIONG and EDEM returning from the market with The twins, looking healthy and happy, ran to Abasai in excitement. He thanked for taking care of them and introduced himself, promising to visit them soon. Abasai shared the good news with Idara, who, filled with a mix of hope and guilt, pleaded to see the twins. The next morning, they visited Mm's home. Upon seeing Idara, the twins recoiled in fear. Idara, overwhelmed with emotion, began to wail, accusing the twins of stealing her good luck. Both Abasai and were shocked by her outburst. Defended the twins, explaining how they had brought prosperity and joy into her life. Hearing this, Idara became even more furious, demanding her luck back. The situation escalated until the village queen, accompanied by guards and maidens, arrived at Mm's house. The queen revealed that the twins were her daughters, taken away by a jealous second queen and her maidens because they were embodiments of good luck. She praised for caring for the twins and promised to fulfill any of her wishes. Idara tried to claim credit for finding the twins, but the queen, aware of Idara's mistreatment, warned her to stay away from the palace and the princesses. Overcome with guilt and jealousy, Idara never bore her own children and faced hardships all her life. Eventually, her husband left her due to her wickedness, teaching her a harsh lesson in kindness and compassion. The moral of this story is to never look down on anyone, as help can come from unexpected places. Children are a blessing from God and should never be mistreated. Showing love and kindness never goes out of fashion. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to help us grow our channel. See you in our next story. Bye.